The number of times I have almost said Heath Leather.
Hello friends and welcome to my channel for a figure unboxing and review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Filix Toys Clown. This is based on the Heath Ledger Joker from The Dark Knight. I've been very excited to get this figure. We're going to open it up, take a look at it, and then put it in my custom Nolan Batman trilogy display. So let's get to it.
Alright, quick look at the box. Pretty cool box art. I like seeing all these different Joker cards on here. Cutler motif is pretty appropriate for the figure. So this is something that you wanted to have like on the shelf behind your figure. I think this could be a nice backdrop. Another thing is, like, can we get boxes this size all the time, please? Filix Toys did this with their Inkblot figure as well. That's a great figure and great packaging. A lot of us keep these boxes, and I think we would all enjoy it if they were smaller. Here it is as it comes out of the clamshell. It's pretty well packaged. I like how, you know, you've got the figure on top and the accessories on the bottom. There's really no need to have them all splayed out in like a giant package. All right, here is the first look at the figure, and this thing is gorgeous. That's a really great head sculpt. Excellent likeness to Heath Ledger. Really, really pleased with that. The paint apps are pretty outstanding. I mean, look how hair like that is such a difficult thing to paint accurately, and that is perfect. I like how the hairline is soft. It's not like a hard green line. I think that's really, really great. Nice sheen to the eyes and the mouth. That's just a perfect likeness. Very, very well done. You know, there's a dark wash to the hair. It gets a little darker as it goes toward the back, which is accurate. And also in these like recessed areas. Okay, so it looks like the grenade thing is probably a Velcro patch that goes on in here, which I think is really smart. There's a really nice quality to the coat. Like, it's a really nice material. Got these nice little button details on here. The gloves have nice sculpted details, and it looks like the shirt comes all the way down. So I'm assuming the jacket is probably like a sleeveless kind of insert sort of thing. Yeah, which is what you expect with something like this. If they made it like sleeves on top of sleeves, it would just be way too bulky. It's got this really nice liner in here, this kind of satin material. You've got this really nicely scaled wallet chain. It's actual metal, and it's a very fine little chain. The vest is missing the appropriate button in the middle. The tie looks like it's kind of printed on, as does the shirt pattern. Check it out. We also have lapel magnets. That is such a nice touch. I think every figure with soft goods should have magnets for the bunching bits so that they don't get all like poofed out and silly looking. Coat has these two tail flaps on the back. Very cool. Nice pocket detail. It's nice stitching along the seam here. With figures like this, I like to do a sock check. Let's check for socks. We got socks, baby. Look at those too. Those are really cool. I don't know if I ever saw what he had on in the movie, but I assume they looked like this. The shoes have a really nice sculpt to them. You know, they kind of have this like bulbous bit in the front. Oh, there's a cool texture on the bottom there. All right, Filix Toys, I see you. Well done. Just a beautiful figure overall. Let's take a look at what he comes with. So we've got this smiling head, and I gotta say, I thought it didn't look very good on the prototype promotional photos. It's not as good of a likeness of Heath Ledger as the other one, but this is a great head sculpt. I can see having either of these. I mean, the other one is much more accurate to my mind, but this is a really great, I mean, God, I'm blown away by the paint on these two. Look how it kind of smudges on the ear as if it were just like applied haphazardly by a guy who's crazy. Nice paint in the mouth there. This kind of running bit, like almost like a teardrop. Yeah, really beautiful. It also comes with this kind of if Homer Simpson was a clown mask that was in the movie. Nice kind of flexible material on this. I think you could put this on the face without worrying about it screwing anything up, but I also don't really see myself displaying with this. You'll see when I show you my custom Nolan display, I have the Soap Studios Bank Robber Joker holding this mask. Taking a look at the accessory tray, we've got two ungloved hands, and these have a beautiful paint application to them. There's like a pink quality to the knuckles and the fingers. It's very lifelike and very well done. So two neutral hands. We get two gloved trigger hands. Beautiful, beautiful sculpting on those. So clean and precise. That's really something. Oh God, they even have, look at this. There's even a little silver button on there. That is just I didn't even know that that was in the costume. That's a really lovely touch. 2 gripping hands, 2 hands for holding playing cards, knives, etc. And then we've got 2 larger, more loose gripping hands. We've got the alternate shoe with the hidden blade in it. It has a really nice metal sheen to it, and that's because it's metal. So that's incredible. We've got the remote detonator that he uses. Look at the key, and the key even has a little key ring on it. That's just a stunning level of detail. They didn't need to go this hard. They really didn't, but they did. Shout out to Filix Toys. We've got a revolver that is beautifully sculpted. It's not metal, but it looks like it. They put a nice gloss on there to really make it look metallic. We've got the handgun with the silver slide and the extended clip that he has in the movie. Probably the most metallic silver looking slide I've seen on one of these in this scale. It's even got little like insignias imprinted on there, little indicia or whatever. There's the ridge on the back of the grip. The details in this set are just incredible. This appears to be, I think this is like a extended barrel flash suppressor thing of some kind. I'm not sure what that's from. Let me know in the comments if you know what this is. I watched the movies somewhat recently and I don't remember what that would be. Whatever this gun is, the folding stock doesn't rotate out, but I don't know that he had it extended in the movie anyway. And then we have this shotgun. No moving mechanisms on it, but still a very beautiful piece. Got a butterfly knife, which again, just the details in this are really, really incredible. I don't know how you even make something this small. If this is like 3D printed, you know, I'm somebody who customizes and makes a lot of stuff from scratch. And this is like, I'm just bewildered by the detail on this and how clean it is. And then we have this kind of switchblade type of knife that he uses when he asks people, they want to know how he got his scars, etc. I'm not going to do the voice. I'm sure everybody reviewing this figure is going to do the voice at some point. I refuse to. And I'm an impressions guy, so that means that I care about you all. And then finally, we have this little deck of cards. I believe this is to kind of match the promo images from the movie that we saw, where he's got the deck kind of splayed out like this. And then finally, we've got his grenade thing from inside his coat. Once again, beautiful detail. We've got actual like fabric straps here to hold them in place. These little rings. Yeah, that's awesome. Comes on and off very easily. All right, let's take a look at the articulation. Oh, head wanted to come off pretty easily. It looks like this collar is going to maintain its shape if you want to swap out the head. So that's good. It is on a ball joint in there. So we've got swivel, obviously. The head doesn't want to stay on super well for me. If I tilt it back, you can look down about that far, which is actually good because he is pretty hunched. And I don't know if you can see, but the eyes are kind of looking up a little bit. So if you hunch him like that, he's actually kind of looking forward, which is nice. Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm not having a lot of luck with the neck articulation here because it just wants to come right out. I can feel that it's clicking into place, but then if I try to rotate it, it just comes loose. So far, that's the only downside to this thing that I have found. But you know, a lot of figures are made or broken in the articulation stage, so we'll see. Looks like I forgot to mention this has Velcro. So you could take off the coat and the outer jacket and the vest if you wanted to. I think you could probably do the jail cell scene if you wanted to with his ungloved hands and just roll the sleeves up. So that's pretty cool. There are some options with this as far as his different looks are concerned. Feels like a ball joint at the waist and at the torso maybe. So he'll bend over about that far, bends backwards about like that. Yeah, that head's a bit of a problem. Not for me in the way I'll display him, but you know, if you're an ACBA person, if you like to take photos of your figures. Arms will go all the way up, but they're hindered by the coat here. We've got pretty full rotation forward and back. Stops about there because of the coat, but it feels like it would go all around if you took the coat off. Double jointed elbows gets you all the way up. Kind of your standard ball joint wrist peg, so you get really good range of motion out of these. Does the splits about that far. Not that the Joker's doing the splits. Upper thigh ball joint swivel. Double jointed knees gets you pretty far. So the ankles are interesting. They're a little bit different because you have the replaceable shoe on the other one. This one has the sock that goes all the way down onto this piece. This one seems to separate from that piece a bit so that you can take the foot off and put the other one on. So it's a nice solution for that. Looking at getting a few accessories going just to mess around with them, and I realized that the hands are very soft, which is perfect for getting accessories in and not worrying about like breaking the fingers off or anything. So hats off to Filix Toys for that. That's a really nice feature that I always appreciate in figures. The jacket is cut in a way that really gives him that kind of hunch that he has in the movie that I think is got to be a difficult thing to really nail down, but man, they got it. You can get some very naturalistic poses out of this guy, which I really enjoy. The hands are very, very easy to swap off and on as well. So that's always really nice because, you know, we've all struggled with trying to pop hands on and worrying about breaking the peg off or something, but these just pop right on and pop right off. All right, going for a bit more of a playful pose here, like in some of the promo images for the movie, and he can hit some pretty good poses here. I do wish that they had given us like a splayed out hand, like one that's, you know, spread open for his more like kind of ta-da type of poses and whatnot. When I put this head in, it moves around a lot better. So I think the connector on the standard head that I have just isn't very good. Hopefully that's not a regular QC issue and just something with mine. I do wish that the jacket had some wiring in it. It would just be nice to be able to, you know, kind of like have it sit like this, or, you know, a little more naturalistic instead of just kind of popping up the way it does. You can kind of get around that by messing with it, tucking different pieces of it like that. So, you know, not the end of the world, but would have been a nice touch. All right, let's do a couple of quick size comparisons. This part's always a little more difficult for me because a lot of my figures are customs, and so I don't have a ton of what other people have because most of mine have been modded and changed and whatnot. But I'll show you with some of the stock ones that I have. Here he is with the other Filix Toys offering Ink Blot, aka Rorschach. And then with the NECA 1990 movie Leonardo. Here he's with the Mafex 3.0 Dark Knight Rises figure and the Mafex Suicide Squad Joker. Now, if you hunch him a little bit, kind of like that posture that he has in the film, he does scale a little bit better with Batman, but he is just a bit tall. I think if you were to take this figure and kind of extend the hip height a bit and his head more straight up and down, these could potentially work a little bit better together. But yeah, that pose on Batman doesn't look great. This figure can be a little bit wonky, and that's why it's actually not my final one in the display, but I use a modified Soap Studios Batman, which you'll see shortly. But yeah, it's, you know, it's close. I mean, you could definitely use it for photography, you know, have them near each other on the shelf. I think it would work, but you would have to fudge it a little bit. And finally, here he is next to the NECA 7-inch scale Batman Begins figure. So hopefully that gives you a good idea of the overall size of the figure. Now, let's get to the part I've been waiting for the most. We're going to get him into my custom display and check him out next to my array of custom Nolan Trilogy figures. Now, most of these are figures that I either made or augmented in some way. I featured a breakdown of these in a collection tour video that I posted in September of 2022, so feel free to check that out if you want to see more about these figures in detail. Now, right here is the Soap Studios Joker that I'm going to be replacing with the new one. This figure had a lot of design flaws in the body, but I thought the soft goods were very nice. And at the time, it was the only soft goods 1/12 scale figure of Heath Ledger's Joker that I could get my hands on. I did add a custom head to this. There's actually a video of me painting it on the channel if you're curious. So right now we're going to go ahead and swap him out with the new Filix Toys Joker and take a look. Alright, and there we have him in the display, and that is exactly the pop of color that this thing needed. I could not wait to get that splash of green and purple in here, and it does not disappoint. I'm so floored by this figure. I really think it is pretty outstanding. You know, Filix Toys has a pretty strong track record so far. I think that they're one of the best manufacturers of 12 scale soft goods figures out there. You know, aside from the net connector issue, which I'm not counting as like a general problem with this figure because it's probably just mine, and it, you know, as you can see, it's not an issue for how I display it. I would give this thing a 10 out of 10. You know, there's a couple of things I wish were a little different. I wish there was maybe a wire in the coat, a third head sculpt option. I would have loved to have like the one where he sticks his head out the car window, but that's not a knock against Filix Toys or this figure because they don't know what my hopes and dreams are. So
And I think that this was just a really ingenious solution for the ability to display him doing that. So yeah, excellent tailoring, excellent details, excellent accessories. If you were on the fence about it, you know, hopefully this gave you the information you needed. Let me know what you think of the figure in the comments below. Are you getting this one? Did you pre-order this? I pre-ordered it as soon as I found out about it, and I'm glad I did because it's great to have it on my shelf. One more look here. I just wanted to show you all a close-up of the figure in the display. Under the lights with the posing, it just looks fantastic. Do a quick look at my customs. Now this is a diorama that I made on the channel, so that is available for your viewing, as well as I mentioned before, my collection tour that shows these figures in a bit more detail. I'll have those at the end card credits so that you can see those videos if you'd like to. So that is going to do it for this review. I want to thank you all for joining me. As I mentioned, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, I make customs like the ones you see here on a regular basis. I also do custom vehicles. As you can see below here, there's a custom tumbler that I built on the channel, a Dodge Charger for my Blade custom figure, plenty of cool stuff. Currently wrapping up on a 1/12 scale kit from Knight Rider and a Michael Knight figure to go with it. So if that sounds like stuff you're interested in, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and come along as I build this cool stuff. At the end of the video, you're going to see a brief trailer for my graphic novel, Count. It's my sci-fi reimagining of the Count of Monte Cristo. It's got cool action, it's a revenge story, it's got swashbuckling sword fights, androids, cool vehicle chases. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, there's a link in the description below. Thanks again for watching. Until next time, keep your head on swivel.